So this is what you would see for your ship, and you can have more than one ship. So I have 4 ships right now. This is the one I got for completing the Freestar Rangers faction quest. This is the strongest free ship you can get for completing a quest line. That's kind of why I wanted to do the Freestar Rangers before completing the Crimson Fleet, because I wanted this ship. But by the time I earned this ship, I had already built this, which is basically stronger now. So I don't even need the other ship anymore, because my own personal ship is so much stronger. So basically, you have 2 options. You have ship builder and upgrade ship. Now, upgrade ship isn't going to do anything to like change your ship look. What it's going to do is when you select it, it will go over what's already on your ship. Your engine, your grav drive, your reactor, whatever can be upgraded, you can then upgrade it. You can have a choice of that upgrade of that model. Okay? So of that model, keep that in mind. But if you want to fully dive into the ship building, you go to ship builder. And now this is where things start to get very confusing if you don't really know what you're doing. So you have to highlight over what you want with the mouse. And you'll see there's like little rings and whatever. If you select it, then if you highlight over it and press the space bar, it will let you pull and move things around, right? So I can take things off. Everything is modular. And if you're lucky, it'll stick back on. Now, the part where it gets annoying is, let's say I want to put something on this point here, right? I want to modify something. Originally, I thought, oh, okay, I just have to press the add, add or G to add. So you open up this menu here. But what that will do is it will just randomly place this somewhere on your map, on your layout, right? And you can pick your reactor, your habitats, whatever. Let's say I want to put a structural something to add more to the structure of the ship. So let's say I wanted to add something like this. So I would select it, right? And I'm like, okay, now I just have to stick it. Where did I want to put it? There, right? Oh, look, it won't go. No matter what I do, it won't stick. And there's no way of changing the X, Y, Z axis. Like, it's just stuck there on that level. And that's where I used to get really pissed off. Because I'm like, I want to add. Why can't I add it where I want to add it? And then I thought, well, why don't I just take this off? And then I can move this one. Oh, look, because it's on a different level, it won't stick. And that's where it started to really piss me off. I'm like, how am I supposed to build this dumb ship? Right? Doesn't make sense. So, actually, that's when I realized what you have to do. If you're going to build something and modify it, let's say I want to add something there. What you do is you actually have to put the cursor into the place where you want it to build. Right? I want it there. Then you press G. Then you can cycle through everything that you want to have there, and it will automatically place it where you want it to be. Right? I want to have maybe another building something here. So I put my mouse here, press G, and now I can cycle through whatever could be placed in that position. Right? That will save you a lot of hassle. A lot of hassle once you figure that out. It took me I think 2 hours of failed attempts and giving up, and then another hour where I finally figured it out. It's a horrible, horrible build system, but once you figure it out, it just makes things so much easier. you know. And then after that, you can like take things out. Yeah, exactly. Like let's say because I've done this before. Maybe I don't want that there. So then I just click in here, and then again press G, and then I could have something else there. You know, I can build something else in that spot. It's like once you figure that out, it just makes things so much easier. But in order to get to that point, but then there's other things. Okay, I tried to explain this before. You have in the flight check. So flight check will show you that your ship is able to fly. And then you have your weapon systems. There are 3 categories for your weapon systems. You have to designate each weapon into a group. So I've got a Dragon 221P pulse laser, a 104L cannon, and a 104L auto cannon. Let's say I want to change. Okay, so where's my auto? I've got 104L cannon here. Cannon, auto cannon. Okay, so these 3 are the same type. Originally, I thought you could only have 1 gun per grouping, but no. You can have 1 gun type, and then you can have 1 gun and then 3 of that 1 gun type per grouping. So I've got 3 auto cannons. I've got 1 up here, 1 here, and 1 here, right? And then I've got 3 standard cannons there, and then I've got 3 lasers, 1, 2, 3, 1 underneath. So that will also make a big difference, because a lot of people, they don't tell you this. They don't tell you this, you know. I found that out watching. I was on a clip on Twitter where Dr. Disrespect was getting so mad because his ship kept exploding. You know, the ship kept exploding, and he couldn't kill the enemies in space flight. And someone had wrote a comment saying that they had taken 30 hours before they realized that you could do that. And then I'm like, holy crap, no way, that just changed everything for me. So yeah. The other thing you want to know is that your docker, the thing that will dock to a ship, always has to be higher, has to be the tallest thing. So, for example, if this was removed and this was, that's the other thing, you can't just have it go down 1, right? So let's say I had a docker here, right? It was there. I have an error. It'll say, this is the one that it will say, Docker modules need to be on outside edge of the ship, which took me a while. I didn't understand what the hell that meant. What that means is that the Docker has to be high, one of the highest things on your ship. So you need to have it at the highest point. Otherwise, you're going to have an error. And then the bigger the mass, the more engines and landing gear you need. Yeah, you sadly can only have 1 gravity drive, and you can only have 1 reactor. I was hoping you could have more, but yeah. So if I make this bigger, I need to add more engines and more landing gears. It's once you figure that out, after I wish someone had told me how this whole works, but now that you know, like it's so much easier. The shield? Well, that's the thing. I can't really, like, this is my shield here. I've already upgraded it, but I can't upgrade the shield more Because I need to have a stronger reactor, but I can't get a stronger reactor until I unlock higher piloting. If you look here in the bottom left corner, it says required skills, rank 3 piloting. So I need to unlock a higher perk in my perk tree for piloting in order to get the better power reactors. When I can get the better power reactors, then I can buy the really badass shields. But these also, like the top shields, the ones that cost 14k, like this one, I need Starship Design rank 4. But I can get this one. But in order to get this one, or if I want like this one, it's 25k, right? It has 705 max shield health. But in order to get that, like I could buy that right now. But if I buy this, I have errors. And it will say, ship contains modules that exceed reactor class. See? So you need to have a higher reactor class in order to have the best things. It needs to balance out, right?